Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, the 16th of September, and it's the 07:45 class in the morning. Have a tennis ball with you, please, and also your TheraBand. Thank you. Let's come into the center. I don't even put my equipment away. I just keep it out because I know I'm going to need it. All right, we're going to just start with a little neck stretch. Inhale and exhale and feel the closing down of the ribs towards the waist. So alignment is very important. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Feel the expansion of your chest and your ribs and exhale. Inhale to the back muscles now. Inhale, open and exhale. Inhale to the sides. Very nice. Keeping your hands reaching down your sides, you're going to stretch your neck. So keep your face to the front. Take your chin to the left shoulder and take the top of your head to the right. Like that. Take it up. Take it up. And stretch the side of your neck and release. To the other side, take your chin across. Keep your face to the front. Keep your face to the front. There you go. And take the shoulder down. And release. Take your head to the front. Keep the stretch. Keep the chest tall. And take your head over the top. Shoulders down. And release. Now aligning yourself. Find your feet on the floor. Stack your shins, knees, thighs, hips, waist, ribs, chest, and be as tall as you can. Now bend your knees forward. We hold that position. We take the shoulders forward into a rounded hunch. Take the shoulders up, back, and down. Round yourself into a hunch. Go into the lower back. Tuck your glutes underneath you. And uncurl and forward, round your back and release and round your back. Now stay down there. You might need to just look up to see what I'm doing. I'm going to put some weight on those hands against the knees, and the knees are pushing in, and then I'm going to bend the elbows and push outwards and release up and shoulders back. Come down into that hunch. Pull the tummy back, round the lower back. Push on those hands. So the arms are pushing outwards, which means actually that you're opening up the shoulder blades. And uncurl with the shoulders to the ears, back and down. Inhale. And exhale. Heel down. Tuck the derriere underneath. Hollow the tummy in front. Round your lower back. Push on those hands and open up your shoulders and release and up and back and down and peel forward. Push on those knees. Find some work in the shoulders and release. Now I'm coming closer on my knees. You can stay where you are and you're going to pull on those shoulder muscles. Pull, 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 the ones that you've just been stretching. And ease out in the shoulders. Big breath in. Then place your right hand behind you, you see, and do the same stretch again. Change sides and stretch to the other side. Okay. Now you're going to put the first hand behind you, and instead of going straight to the side, you put your opposite hand along your chin and you lift the chin away. So what you're trying to do is stretch the sternocleidomastoid down onto the attachments inside the collarbone. So you're trying to stretch the fascia of the neck. Stroking down helps, but also lifting the chin away. And of course, you've impinged the shoulder, you've brought it down and you can't move it and then release. Okay, other side, lifting the chin away, taking the hand behind, so you've got that shoulder down and you lift away. Now you can stroke down onto the fascia. Oh, it's nerve rich and you can feel the pull. Try to undo any tension there. And breathe and keep stroking. Another 4. And last one. Great. Put pressure on the back of your head. Now this is a stabilizer for the neck and shoulders. You place your hands on the back of your head and you push so that your chin is going back and you've got pressure going there into your neck and upper back. Now bow forward and stretch between the shoulder blades. Now lift up and push the head back against these resistant hands, pulling the arms forward, pushing the head back and getting that lovely feeling of opening and work down to the rhomboids. Now tilt and hold, 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 and release. Good. Take this into the whole back. I've got so many layers on, I can hardly move. But anyway, here we are. Place the hands behind the head. Bend the knees. Curl the coccyx forward so that your glutes are underneath you. And curl down, making your back into as tight a little ball as you can. Then release up and push the chin back to stabilize into the neck and shoulders. Now curl and take your head all the way to your waist this time, curling the lower back underneath you as much as you can. And release, inhale, and push back into those resistant arms. When you resist forward, you'll be feeling your pecs major really pulling here. And so you are strengthening that arm shoulder area and opening up your neck and rhomboids. Pull down. And uncurl. And push your head into your hands. Big breath in. And peel down. Draw the tummy up to the spine. Now let go your hands and touch the floor. Bend your knees. We're moving into the hips, hamstrings, knees. And you're going to straighten your legs. And breathe in. Bend the knees. Breathe out. Straighten the legs. Breathe in. And bend the knees. Breathe out. Straighten the legs. Now tap your body downwards. Pulse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bend the knees again. Uncurl all the way up. And release. Okay, we'll be back there. We're going to use the tennis ball to release feet. Okay. Here we are. Okay. Rub your feet very lightly, very lightly. I started this in the evening class the other day and someone went, oh, ouch, my feet, my feet. So I said, just really feather light, okay? I'm doing it quickly. There's a little feather light pressure on the feet. Go to the outside and go to the inside of the foot. Go to the outside and go to the inside. Now start increasing the pressure and slowing down. So you're going a little bit more deeply. Be careful. We don't want to bruise the foot. Just want to keep that fascia nice and stretched out and light. And guys, give up sugar because it's an inflammatory, disease-making element in your diet. So just give up sugar and you will find that your fascia comes back to you and starts to release all its tensions and toxins and becomes more supple again. But this really strong feeling that too much sugar tightens up the whole body because it's inflamed. All right, now step back from that foot, placing the tennis ball underneath the ball of the foot, but not on the ball, behind it, and then press in using your knees and thighs, and just enjoy a lovely deep massage into the solar plexus of the foot, into that area of the foot. Okay. Looks like we're having thunder and lightning outside, because as the blind moves, the light pours in on the sheet behind me. Sort of lighting effects. Okay, and now place the foot, roll it forward until the ball is in front of the heel, and press down, down, down again into the front of the heel and the back of the arch. Deep down into it. Okay, working with the same foot. Can you stretch? Can you find a cushion nearby or a book? Something immovable. A book is a great idea. Place the front of your foot on that cushion or book. Walk over the front of the book and feel that stretch into the fascia around the heel, up into the Achilles tendon, up into the soleus muscle, which sits underneath the calf muscle, and then eventually into the calf. And I want you to wander from side to side, like this, exploring the whole back of the heel and into that soleus and into the calf. So just moving the work around that foot. I'm doing a little circle now. Okay, so we're not stuck in too much of a tight position, and circle the other way while still stretching into the fascia. So this is prophylactic. We're trying to prevent things like plantar fasciitis, which is very, very sore and often increases at the change of season when you're coming out of warm boots and into sandals or barefoot or slip-slops or into court shoes. These feet can react quite badly. All right, the last thing to do for this foot is to place it slightly behind and to roll it up and down and to mobilize your ball joint and also the Achilles tendon soleus into calf. Whew, I hope I can remember this whole sequence on the other side. You're welcome to put your sound on and remind me if I forget. Lift up that foot, the one you've been using, and circle round. Lovely footwork up there, which makes a difference to the rest of your body. Circle inwards. Okay, and wriggle your toes. Wriggle those toes. And cramping them down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Wow. A favor to your feet this morning. Right, let's see if we can remember all that stuff on the other side. Standing on the first foot, which is my left, running very lightly, feather light on that ball. Don't shock your foot at all. What you don't want is for the foot to react because of the pain and to tighten up. You want to introduce it lightly to some gentle skin level stimulation. Go to the inside of the foot and a little to the outside and to the inside. Breathe. Don't pick up any tension in the upper body as you do this. To the inside, to the outside, to the inside, to the outside. Last time, to the inside, to the outside. Now slow down and go a little bit deeper, deeper, deeper. Now the foot is probably ready to receive some decent massage from the ball. Breathe it. You're doing wonderful things for the standing hip, by the way. All this movement around causes the hip to stabilize itself. If you feel onto your standing hip, you'll feel a myriad little muscles pulling and adjusting to this movement. So back to the working foot. We step back from it and using the knees and thighs, you're going to push that tennis ball into the solar plexus of the foot, which is behind the ball of the foot. And pressing in, and of course you can explore to the inside and to the outside, really stretching and trying to make the ball and the base of the foot more elastic, more malleable. Okay, and now you're going to place that ball at the back, in front of the heel, pressing down, waking it up. Noting how the standing hip is also working. Breathe it. We often fix our breath when we are concentrating on the other end of the body. So just keep your breathing going. From time to time, a deeper sighing breath will help. Keep your lungs moving. Good. And now we're going to take the tennis ball away and place the foot on a cushion. Whole front of the foot is on the cushion, the heel is on the floor. You step over the cushion. A good fat novel will also help. Whatever it is, it mustn't depress too much. You want it to hold the front of the foot upwards so that the heel and the fascia going around the back of the heel is under duress. You need to stretch that out and then follow the sensation up into the Achilles tendon and into the soleus muscle, which is underneath the calf. All very sinewy material and nerve-rich fascia. So you're working there. And now you're going to start just moving the hips a little bit. So if I face you, it's looking like this, a little bit of movement in the hips, okay? Straighten the knee. Let's get right into that back foot. Now circle. Give that back foot something more to think about. And circle the other way. Great. You're working into hips. You'll feel that your tummies are working at the same time as you motivate those hip areas. And you're loosening into the bursas at the side of your hips here as well. Okay, standing on your first foot, you lift your second foot and you're going to circle round and round. I'm going to straighten my knee a little bit so that the foot does more work. So you're isolating the ankle. Nice big circles and circle inwards. Stand tall on the standing leg. Use your abdominals and your transverse especially. Pull them into the belly button, circling that foot around, then flexing and working into the toes. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, squeeze. Lovely balances today. Drawing up in a tall spine, shoulders down, long neck, and brush your hair against the ceiling. Okay, and we're stepping down from that. Right, let's move down to the floor, but via a hamstring stretch. So I promised we would be back, and we're going to touch the floor, and we're going to bend those knees, breathing out, dropping the body, and then lifting bottom to ceiling, straighten the legs, press down, and lean onto your arms. So you've got a lovely weight bearing in for your shoulders. And now come back and bend the knees. Stretch into your lower back. And reach forward. And now weight bear on your arms. Oh gosh, such a big jacket, I can't function. Okay, I'm going to tuck this in. And You are taking yourself forward and weight bear. So press ups with the arms. Come back, bend the knees and straighten and bend the knees into the lower back. Stretch, straighten the legs, walk forward a little bit and into a press up. And release and bend. Now turn the feet out and go even further down, further down. You're going to be stretching out your inner thighs. So I want you to put your elbows against your knees and gently push open. Again, don't introduce it too fast. Like your feet, you don't want your inner thighs to react with too much impact. But gently bear into those areas, pushing the elbows back and release up. Stand up, rub your inner thighs vigorously. There's a strong connection between inner thighs in kinesiology, inner thighs to abdominals. So we rub vigorously here, you'll find that your abdominals work very much better. So we open the knees, push the elbows back, gently get into it, try and squat down as much as you can, drop the body forward, and stretch around the shoulder blades, stretch into the back, and into the hips. Oh, it's a long time since we did the stretch. And come down onto your backs. Okay, where's your tennis ball? Place your tennis ball on your bottom, on the outside of the sitting bone, and very lightly, just very lightly, take your body weight across the tennis ball, up towards the SI joint and down to the outside of your sitting bone. Again, with all of these massage and fascia release exercises, you mustn't surprise the body at the beginning. Your sympathetic nervous system is finely tuned for fright and flight. So if you surprise it, it's going to tighten, not loosen. So you mustn't go in vigorously. Remember, exercise is not a punishment for having overeaten or something. Exercise is just meant to be so nurturing and so helpful for your overall health. So be kind to your body and up you come. So you're running down a nerve line in that glute. Okay, and now take the knee slightly over to the right and go into more the glute medius so that you're coming up to the hip bone, and you should hit a very burny area at the top of your glute. So be careful, ease up gently, and just take note of how much the shoulders are having to work. You'll probably be stiff in your shoulders tomorrow. And change glutes. We're going to turn around. Find your sitting bone. Take your arms back. Now please employ your lats underneath. So push your shoulders down and grip your newspaper underneath your arm. And that will give you your lat engagement. So roll on the tennis ball up towards the SI joint, which is just on the left there, on the side of your sacrum. And come in gently. Ooh. Breathe. Did we breathe for the last 5 minutes? Let's breathe. And you are using abdominals to hold yourself up. So curl your pubic bone forward, upwards. Scoop in that tummy. Use your abs to support you. Shoulders down. All right. Now take the knees over to the left. We didn't do this one the other day, but I know that it's been really helpful to work with the tennis ball. So take your knees slightly to the side of the tennis ball and now work into the glute medius right up to the top near the hip, where it should be very nerve rich and a bit anal. Go lightly. I haven't been counting. It's just sort of, we're doing some until it's enough. Or maybe till the arms can't bear the weight any longer. I'm going to need to stretch your arms because we've really done a lot of weight bearing on those arms this morning. Okay, and last one. Let's take the tennis ball out and sit just for a little arm stretch. Okay. We're going to take this right arm across the body, sit up as tall as you can, and spiral at the waist, keeping the hips obviously on the floor and not moving them. And now we're pulsing gently into that side, into the left side, and drawing the deltoid across. So you're wanting to stretch your deltoid, stretch and stretch. Good one. Same arm, take it above the head, push your knees open, draw your elbow up to the sky, take your chest up a little bit in front and lift it upwards to give you that open stretch into the armpit and into your triceps. Great, let's change sides. Bring the arm across with your left arm, hold behind, and have your fingers ready to massage your deltoid down into its connection on the outer bicep, okay? So pull across and massage with your fingers. Try and stretch out in those fibers. It's also nerve-rich because that's where the deltoid attaches into the arm. Now pulse it, keeping the hips where they are and spiraling at the waist. Use your abdominals and your obliques in particular to pull you round and pull you round and pull around and pull around. Okay. Breathe. And breathe. Hopefully you can feel it into your shoulder blade now. And come to the front. Lift the body upwards, push the knees downwards, and lift. Good, you feel it into the tricep. Try and get that elbow right behind the head. I've got the side of my wrist or forearm on the back of my head, and I'm resisting back with my head, and I'm using that arm to leverage the stretching arm backwards. So you've got that support arm behind the head, and you push back as we did in the first exercise with the neck, and you push backwards so that the arms travel backwards more, and then you force it open into the armpit. Let's go into tummy exercises. And you're on your backs. Inhale, curl into the abdominals and really hollow them out. Hang those hips a little onto the floor, off the floor, and down onto the floor. Arch the back, find your back muscles, contract them, and now press your back into the floor and hollow the abdominals, bringing the pubic bone up in front. Now, as you place your coccyx on the floor, you're going to raise your upper body and reach to your shins or calves and release down and then curl the pelvis. So there's like a slow rocking action in the body. So you're going to place your coccyx down, you're going to curl your upper body and find your abdominals and try and get your fingers to stroke the side of your shins. So you're touching your legs there. And release down, release and up with the pubic bone. Hang your back so that you're reaching out and stretching in the lower back. Heel down onto the floor, lift the upper body and reach and down. Okay. Now we're going to change this exercise ever so slightly, but you're retaining the sense of rocking, okay? So your hands are behind your head, inhale. And you're going to lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Lift, lift, lift. Okay, so your back is in a C curve. Now, keeping it in a C curve, put a bit of weight on your heels and pull your bottom up off the floor, curling. And as you raise your bottom to the ceiling, so you control your upper body back down onto the floor and allow the hips to climb right up to the top. So they're floating up. Now you're going to start with the upper body, which will force the hips down to the ground. So curl your head, neck, and shoulders off the floor. Lift as high as you can. Watch those hips starting to subside and keep curling up with control, keeping the abdominals active throughout. Now the coccyx is on the floor and you're going to hold that position. You should be in a deep C curve. Now you start lifting your hips. Peel up until you can't anymore, and that's when you start forcing your body to uncurl back down onto the ground as the hips move to the top. And it's a beautiful synergy between upper and lower body. And curl the upper body, keeping the hips there for as long as you can. You will find at this point, sucking in the tummy, that your hip flexors are really getting a lovely stretch. So peel up hard and then allow the lower body to peel down. Big breath, curl up in those abdominals, hold it, and now curl the pelvis. And as it rises and you start to stretch your hip flexors, so the body rolls down ever so slightly. I've got a cramp in my hamstring, and down and release. I wonder if anyone else had a cramp in their hamstring. Let's just prepare them a little bit more. Grab a band. I'll put the band around your left foot. That's pretty intense, and it's a beautiful flow. And it's a lovely synergy between upper and lower body. Just lift your left foot in the band, right leg on the ground, and pull up, and then stretch into the nerve by pulling down on the band and flexing the foot. Now you can pulse it because this is a nerve mobilization and the foot is flexed, deeply flexed. Flex it even more, lead upwards with the heel. Big breath in. Now we're going to do that exercise where you point, sickle, and come across the body. So release the band, point the foot, sickle it inwards, and drag it using the opposite hand. Drag it across the body, but don't lift your hip off the ground. So this is your left leg. You push your left hip into the ground and you pull across. Great. Back to center. Flex the foot and do 5 pulses into the nerve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point, sickle, draw across, and weight your body down into the floor on the left-hand side. Back to center, flex, 5 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point, sickle, and across, and hold that feeling on the side. Correct. Let's change legs. Pull the right leg up. This is a good preparation for doing some more of those lovely bridging and abdominal exercises. We're going to flex the foot. Pull down on your band. Lead up with the heel. Pull the knee tightly into the leg. Breathe in. Now pulse it, because there's a nerve mobilization. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Stop on 16. Point, sickle, and across. Now don't let the opposite hip lift at all. I mentioned going into the bursa at the side of the hip. We're doing that now as well. And you're stretching your ITB nerve line right up into your SI joint. Back to center, flex the foot. Pulse towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Point, sickle, and over. And press down in the right hip. Back to center, flex. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point, sickle, and over. And back to center flex. And 1, 2, this is our last one, 3, 4, 5, point, sickle, and hold the stretch. Right, so hopefully we won't cramp. That was maybe just me, but I didn't enjoy that for a moment. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Curl the pelvis and roll up. You might find this is altogether more comfortable and more mobile now that you've stretched. Curl the body up and let it push those hips down. Right. Pulse the upper body. 1, release. 2, release. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, down. And if you have your tennis ball nearby, use it as a marker. Take the tennis ball in your left hand. Raise the head with the right, shoulder down, lats engaged. Use your tennis ball as a marker. We want to take it to the knee and then roll the tennis ball up the knee, up, up. It's the opposite knee. And use your obliques as you try and get the tennis ball right to the apex of your knee and then peel down, letting the ball roll down your thigh and bring it back to the left shoulder. Inhale, exhale to lift, draw in the pelvic floor, draw in the tummy, place your tennis ball as high as you can on the leg and then roll up, 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 pushing your ball up, up to the top of your knee, using your obliques and peeling down to release. And the last one, and then we go to the other side. Place your tennis ball on your upper leg and up you come, rolling your tennis ball right over the top of your knee, draw in the tummy, use your obliques and peel down. All right, legs together and take your legs over to the right-hand side to stretch your left side. We're going to place the tennis ball in the right hand. The left hand holds the head. Bring your legs back into center. Exhale. Tennis ball width apart. You roll up to center and then you place your tennis ball on your left leg. Roll up, lifting the abdominals, using your right obliques, draw in the tummy, and try and get your tennis ball right onto the top of your knee, even over the other side, and down to release. It's meant to be intense, guys. You must work until you are really boiling inside there. And up you come. And peel up. And suck in those tummies. And up you come. And roll the tennis ball right up. And use your obliques. And release down. Big breath in. And peel up. 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 Take your tennis ball to the top. It's just a marker. And roll it over the top of your knee. And use your obliques. And release down. And take your tennis ball out. Hold the head with 2 hands. We're going to lift your right leg and you're going to tap and alternate the legs on the floor. You're going to imprint your spine. Draw in the tummy. Abdominals are going to be tight. So lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Lift the right leg and alternate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place yourself down. Inhale. In the next one, we're going to straighten one leg. Hold the body in the center. Hold the tummy in. Lift the left leg and straighten the right. Alternate. Change, 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 and down. Inhale. Peel up. Lift the right leg. Straighten the left. Change, change, change. Stretch your necks. Change, 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 and down. And release. Take your knees to the right, 45 degrees. Push the left hip away from you to open up around the ribs and waist. Big breath into the fascia at the side of your body. Back to center, legs left. Push the hip down towards your foot. Open up the side back. And back to center. Inhale. Peel up to hold. You're going to lift both legs. 1, 2. We're going to release the head with the hands and straighten the legs at the same time on an out puff like this, out. And then hold both. Ready? And out. And hold it in. And out. And hold it in. Breathe in and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Hug your knees and down. Roll about. Release your lower back. Okay. We're going to just release that whole nerve line again. Grab your band. Put it around your left foot. Flex the foot. Leg down. And now you're going to pull that leg towards you. So you've been using very tough tummies that goes into the inner thigh. So we're going to stretch your inner thigh. You're going to take your leg out to the left and bend the floor leg, pushing outwards with the hand. So now you're stretching into the inner thighs, which are so deeply connected to your abs. I'm rubbing that inner thigh. It's a lovely thing to do. Releases your abdominals for lots of strength. Come back to center, change feet. Left leg on the ground, flex the right, pulse it towards you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take your right leg out to the side. You'll feel yourself overbalancing, so bend the lower leg and just rub whatever you want to rub inside the inner thighs and the floor leg. And stretch it. Okay, slip the band off, open out, point the toes, and we're going to use that same principle again of isometric pressure on the inner thighs, and the legs are pushing upwards, the arms outwards, all your shoulder power, and then you release to stretch open. Place the hands on the inner knees, push the legs upwards to the ceiling, trying to close them, prevented by the arms, shoulders down, toughen the chest and release to stretch. Last one, place the hands in the center, push outwards and resist. Okay, hold your heads again, feet to the ceiling. Straight knees, right leg down with control. Change, 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 and change. Change, 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 and change. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale. Blow out as you change. In, out, 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 and out. Hug your knees. All right. We've done all the preliminaries for an oblique spiral leg change exercise. So we're going to start using spirals and obliques. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Point the toes. Place your knees together and your knees are bent. Take your body up into abdominal curl over to the left, and the left knee comes to your forehead. Tap the right foot on the floor, and we're ready to change. Let's do 8 on each side. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. So that's our little mini one with knees bent. And now we're going to take one leg straight, imprint your back, point the other one, lift, take your body to your left knee. Slower this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and relax. Relax. Knees can wave about. Relax. Now we're going for the straight leg one. Okay. Lift your left leg. Take your body up and spiral to the left. And your right leg is down on the ground. Slower. 1 and 2 and lower back into the floor. 3 and 4 and 5. Don't pull on your shoulders. 7 and 8 and hug your knees. Well done. What a huge workout today. Now, so much curling up forward. We're going to lie on our fronts, on our tummies, and we're going to do some upper back extensor work to balance up this body. So push any equipment out the way and roll onto your tummies. The arms are getting quite a workout today. Elbows on the floor. And just lie there and rock your hips around. Just enjoy lying on the beach, reading your novel. Keep rocking, just loosen up the SI joints. Okay, now hands upwards to the ceiling and elbows down below your shoulders. Inhale, tighten the knees so that they're off the floor, the insteps are on the floor. Long straight legs, kneecaps pulled up into the leg, thighs tight. Now you bring your elbows sliding on the rubber mat and draw your ribs forward so that you're stretching your tummy muscles. Now I want you to just pull a little harder with the right arm to stretch your right tummy. Release it and pull a little harder on the left elbow to stretch your left tummy. Release, pull the right and spiral your upper body to the left, ever so slightly, just 25 degrees. And release and pull on the left and take your upper body slightly to the right. Release, pull on your right elbow and spiral slightly to the left. Tight legs. And pull on your left and spiral to the right. There's a lovely tummy stretch. Now rock the hips from side to side. Upper back extensors. If you watch first, then you'll know where we're going because you can't really see when you put your head down. The first two exercises have the head down on the floor. So you open elbows to outside the mat, forehead on the floor. Tighten up those legs, insteps on the floor, knees lifted, tight thighs, and glutes now sending themselves down towards the back of your knees. Drawing the tummy off the floor, the lower back and the lower body stays like that throughout. The first exercise, forehead on the floor, you will lift your elbows and hands as one piece and down. So we're not flapping the wrists up and down. And we're not lifting the elbows without the wrists. So those arms come up as one piece and it works into the deltoid and into the shoulder blades and the rhomboids. The second one is to keep your forehead on the floor, abdominal control, lift those arms and straighten them out, bend them and put them down. And the last one is to lift the upper body, keeping the lower body in the same preparation, lift, single arms like this, bent, and then second exercise to straighten, bend, and put down. Okay, so rest if you were doing anything following me there. We're going to start from scratch. Forehead on the floor, Prepare the lower body. Lift the elbows and hands. 1, drop. 2, drop. 3, drop. 4, drop. 5, drop. 6, drop. 7, drop. 8, drop. And relax the legs. Hips can wiggle around. Straighten the knees, lift the tummy, lift the arms, straighten them, bend them down. Lift, straight, bend, and down. Lift, straight, bend, down. Lift, straight, bend, down. Lift, straight, bend, and down. Rest and wriggle about. Soft jelly body on the floor. In the next 2, we lift the upper body. So prepare the lower body, knees, thighs, hollow tummy, pubic bone in the floor, glutes towards the knees, and lift the upper body. Lift the arms down, 2, down, 3, down, and 4, down. Lift, down, 2, down, 3, down, and 4, down. Rest and wriggle. Last exercise coming up. Inhale. Set your lower body. Prepare. Draw up, always with abdominal control. Lift those arms, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Straighten out, bend down. Lift, straighten, bend down. Lift, straighten, bend down. Lift the upper body more if you can. Down. Lift, straighten, bend. Chins in, straighten, bend, down. Lift, straighten, bend, down. Tuck the toes under and peel back into a child's pose with your toes tucked under. Press your body back so that your arches get a lovely stretch. Now breathe, expanding all the inner workings of your lower tummy so that you stretch into your lower back. Expand and relax. And expand. Stretch into your lower back. And release. And stretch by breathing in. And last one, stretch by breathing in. Okay, hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. We push the bottoms to the ceiling. Push your body back to feel the stretch in the heels. Soleus. Half. Push your heels into the floor. Behind the knees. Hamstring. Glutes. Part the legs wide as your mat. Send all the weight over to the right side. Big breath in. Here's your ITB nerve stretch into your SI joint. Come over to the left hand side. Stretch into that side leg. Breathe to the right. Stretching. And over to the left. And walk your hands and feet together to the middle. Place your hands on your knees and push up in a rounded shape. Slide your hands to your thighs. Lift your chest. And breathe out. Down to the floor. Feel the hamstrings stretch. Place your hands on your knees. Bend your knees and uncurl slowly. Deep tummy. Slide your hands up your thighs and lift your chest, shoulders back. And breathe. Slide to the floor. Stretch your hamstrings. Big breath in and place your feet flat. Hands on the knees. Uncurl. Lift. Hands on thighs. Open up your chest to the ceiling, shoulders back, and breathe. And last one to the floor. curl. Stretch into the hamstring. Big breath. Bend the knees. Uncurl. Okay, those are your breathes, your breaths. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you,